listen. Let me make my case here. Slowdown, Bren and Otak are really good. That's likely going to be a pick unless it's banned away. If not, they have things like Flip of Faith. We can see what they're going to pick because the pick and ban is starting. And have you thought about one thing? We've not really seen a lot of gyroscope lately.
We have not, but that's also because some teams have just had such incredible pace on it. It's a very pace-based map. It's also pretty consistent.
Gyro band again.
Yeah.
Getting no love.
Absolutely
favorite
not.
map.
We've seen arrow pipes more today than we've seen gyroscope.
Rel first picking agility dash.
Oh,
I think
we haven't
gonna
seen...
Slow down, yeah, and now back and forth. I think that's the answer. They're so good on these 3 maps, and now I don't know what they've thought of freestyle. Okay, Rel and Uffy are fast on that. What do you think the 5th Slippy and...
Wait,
where are they going to take us?
That wasn't Rel and Uffy that picked freestyle.
Yeah, no, it was KC.
Yeah.
KC picked it. Together with Slowdown, so 2 good maps for them. And their last choice, they're having to think about it.
I would go... If they practiced arrow pipes, I'd go arrow pipes because it's a map that I don't think a lot of the teams have taken too much.
BDS did well there, though, when they played Solary. They had good times. They still lost the map, but
yeah,
they did pretty well.
That's a good question. I would probably hope for parkour not to get... Okay, never mind. They picked parkour. They picked parkour. That's my bad. I guess I was
not to be left out because you love parkour. It's such a great map, Jnic.
It is. I mean, it at least goes for some very interesting endings, right?
It does. It does. No doubt.
Well, we will jump right into the first map, which is going to be Agility Dash, picked by BDS.
In basically every game, BDS, when it's open, have first pick back and forth. They're just dominant on that track, but here, deciding for Agility Dash first. The longest map in the map pack, 128's being driven, and Uffy and Rel being some of the fastest players with great personal bests.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to seeing how much... I think if I'm Team BDS, I would actually put in more practice, not because they're afraid of losing, but just because they want to get the undefeated streak throughout the entire tournament. That would be amazing.
If they win this game, then their opponents next week, which is the final week, will be big. You have been defeated in most games, so
yep,
it is a possibility. They have beaten a lot of the top contenders already.
Also, by the way, Team BDS, not that they have to win this one, but if they do win this one, they're guaranteed top seed in the tournament as well. So,
which gives them favorable pick and ban in the playoffs as well. So just a little added bonus for dominating. Let's give you an advantage.
Exactly. Yeah, you're already winning all the maps. But what about like an extra advantage in the finals?
But it's all fair game. Like they got there by just being better. So you're gonna have to defeat them even from a worse pick and ban spot. We're gonna see how Bren and Otak answer to Agility Dash. Uffy with an early mistake. Bren almost hitting the lamppost on the outside. But it is advantage for KC early on.
It is indeed advantage for KC. Although... But nothing is over quite yet because Agility Dash does have this identity that is incredibly easy to make a mistake on. Bren and Rel, though, fighting for first and second.
It's a tough battle, but we will see the... Oh, okay, wait a second. I thought he was going to crash there, but Bren has his calculations on the lines just right. Speed slide going in the favor of Bren, getting slightly closer. But it's a bit of a modest start to Agility Dash, far from the best pace we've seen.
No, but they also need like a round or two to just warm up, right? Just like everybody else. Absolutely fair for them. Bren or Rel are fighting tooth and nail here to see who can get that first place here on the first round of the final match.
It looks like this battle and then also this battle for third and fourth is getting very close. Will decide their result, but no aces to be had as it stands. Bren first on the identity. That makes it a possibility. He has to respawn. Is Uffy still in second? He is. And suddenly Otak has a chance to deny an ace from happening, but he is not fast enough on the final 3 jumps. Rel and Uffy get out of that one with an ace.
Absolute amazing ace there. That is also... Otak saying his plugins doesn't work, which isn't great. But I do want to say I'm amazed that Otak didn't fly out the map when he clipped that plastic block in the ending. I really thought that was going to end bad. I think a pause is going to be coming up here. Otak has some plugins that aren't working. What plugins he's playing with, that's a mystery to me. I don't quite know. What do you think he's playing with?
A lot of pros use a plugin called Dashboard. It's a plugin that's allowed. It gives you stats about your gear, So for example, something similar to the gear display we have on the cast. It also lets you see an input display of your own inputs, which can sometimes be useful to estimate how much you have to steer in a bobsleigh, or for example, in a setup. If you look at Mudda is one of the most meticulous players in the league, and he will often he will find different camera setups. Like if I'm cam 3 in this part, when that thing disappears from frame of view, that's when I have to start releasing, or stuff like that. Like he will highly analyze to find foolproof strategies for himself with cameras, with input display, etc. And not having it, even if it's not something that's going to give you a big advantage, if it feels wrong, that can do a way worse for
And if you guys don't know exactly what plugins are, there are third-party things that you can have in the game that can help you in different ways. Unfortunately, we don't know if that's going to happen for the PlayStation release, but that doesn't matter right now. We are going into the second round here of Agility Dash. Otak has his plugins back working right now, so let's see if that's going to help him out.
I think one of the most interesting things too is some players, when they compete, will go into full Zen mode, where they turn off everything in the entire interface. They don't want to know where their opponents are at, they don't want to know their own splits, they just want to drive. Focus on the raw lines, check the result at the finish line. Maybe a couple of comps from your teammate, but some players have a plugin to just disable everything in the UI.
Yep.
And that's a way to drive the game as well. Brennan Otak off to a better start in the second round, and the pace has been increased as well. Pharrell and Offie, though, with a great speed slide, so they're not too far behind.
Yeah, but right now, KC on P1 and P2, Otak and Bren, they want to see if they can get this ace right back to make it a 3-3. Will they be able to do it?
Will they get there? They got there in the last identity, and that was from a way worse position than this. Now they have a chance. More speed onto the knife edge for Aurel. Offie losing a little bit. But Brennan Otak, great round so far. Otak, of course, jumping across the grass. Looks like he made a mistake, but that's just an optimization he's found. Now onto the plastic this time. He will not be lucky with the corners. Plays a dangerous game and pays the price. A draw looking like the result here.
It is indeed going to be a draw.
What a time.
But yeah, a 1:28.6 is a great time. Also, I just do want to point out how long this map is. It's almost a 1.5 minute long map. So
yeah, the second longest, I believe, is Slippy Slides at 1:11.
Yes. So this is definitely an endurance test. But if you guys are curious about the world record, you can see it on screen as well. It is by Gwen at 1:28.4. And I mean, they're getting really close to it already.
Yeah, 1:28.60, I believe, is a new personal record for Brennan. We've only just started. BDS, though, still up 4-1 on their own map choice. But KC have the necessary pace to beat them. They just need the rounds to line up right. Here, Offie with an early mistake, that could be taken advantage of because he might not make the jump. He might be off the trajectory, and that's further time loss now. Having to respawn even, so now a big opportunity arises.
It does. KC needs to capitalize on this, and Aurel also has been told that his teammate is 10 seconds behind, so he will absolutely try to see if he can get this first place and minimize the damage that can happen here. 1 point for each team would be the best case scenario for Team BDS right now.
And like the thing is, you can have Otak here, right? He's the closest. Just go Otak, full send. Even if you respawn, you are still ahead of Offie on that identity. That's the power of this situation that they have, and Bren can be the guy to just play it a little bit more safe, wait and see if there's any mistake. If there is, they might get the ace, but so far Aurel is doing great in that defensive spot, holding it down. Bren making a mistake, definitely going to go safe at this point. Otak still with the opportunity to catch up, but Aurel still 2/10 ahead, getting the line right in that entry, and that does a lot for you. At that point, it's just about safing the last plastic jumps. Aurel denies any of the lead from slipping away. BDS are still up by 3 points.
Great performance here coming in from Aurel, making sure that they're not conceding any more points than they absolutely have to. And as you said, a 3-point lead, still very, very nice. And hopefully, I mean, it is BDS's map choice, so they do want to win this. It's pretty important.
Yeah, they want to start off with a win on Agility Dash because they are going to be facing KC on Slowdown. It's their best map, and if they survive that one as well, then they're looking great on this game. But you don't want to have momentum against you, so it might easily be a 0-2 if KC get this one against them. OTAC with a mistake. Aurel and Offie now. Roles reversed, they have a really good possibility to get this one.
Yeah, they could capitalize on this. It is definitely an opposite situation of last round. Bren is tasked with seeing if he can get first place now, but Aurel and Offie have really good paces on this map. So we'll have to see if Bren getting a few speed slides in there, trying to see if he can just inch his way up to first place, but not quite getting away from the other players just yet, going for an inside line here on the downhill, getting the speed slide. 630 for Offie, still really good as well, but Bren is going to maintain the lead for now, and Aurel and Bren will be fighting for it.
Bren crushed them in that segment, got so many lines right. The wiggles that you see are speed slides. They do to gain more speed on plastic, grass, and dirt. But here on platform, it's all about regular drifts. And onto the knife edge, reduce airtime. Aurel again with a great segment here though. And if he can repeat the ending from last round, Bren's gonna have to struggle to get past him. But here he currently holds a draw spot for his team. Onto the first plastic part, very high up. That could be an ace now happening with Offie getting so much speed and Aurel passing Bren too. Can Bren do anything in the ending? No, he cannot. BDS on agility dash continue their dominance. Another ace, and 8-2.
8-2 is a great position to put yourself in. An absolutely beautiful identity coming in from Team BDS. Both of them executing it amazingly. Also, Offie came in from out of nowhere from the back there with just great speed, great momentum, and just overtaking like a rocket.
And at this point, there's more than just a plugins that is going wrong for KC. They have a long way back to try to not lose this map, but they're starting out with Brendan first right now, which is what they need. Low airtime for Aurel. Could almost be too low. He makes the landing work though. Setting up wide for the drift, but again, Bren in this part of the map looks very refined. Clean gear up. Gets a few wiggles there for speed. Sets up for the drift, but Aurel is beating him this time, and we have a fast round on our hands. All 4 players in the first 40 seconds of driving. So close together. Now the speed slides across the platform. OTAC pretty decent with a 631. But falling further behind the others. Bren is sandwiched between BDS. He's gonna need to be ahead of them to not lose the map on the spot, but he misses the drift right there on the outside. It falls off the track. It's all on OTAC now to catch up to and pass both the pink cars.
Yeah, this is a difficult task that OTAC just got handed to him, but he will take it and he will try his best. Offie with a huge mistake. OTAC jumping down here will overtake Aurel. Is he going to be able to maintain this lead all the way to the finish and make sure that they don't concede any more points than they have to? Aurel is trying to see if he can push back up, but OTAC has a great lead and will maintain the lead. Bren overtaking Offie, and actually it will be the round victory for KC, but Team BDS still getting a point.
And if there's any good thing to take away from this for KC, it's that with 4 points, they can exactly get there with 2 aces, which they're going to have to get anyways, because BDS was at 9, but now they, you know, it lines up. Just got to get 2 aces against BDS on agility dash. Simple.
Simple, and so, I mean, honestly, they just have to do that. They just have to realize that that's
this plan, that if they drive faster than BDS, both the players from KC drive faster than both the players from BDS, they will get more points.
I mean, it's a great
so
analysis.
I thought about all of this
from the caster in the booth.
I sat and really, you know, contemplated this. What if they did that? And I think it's a good strat.
And this is why we call you the analyst of the casters. It's because of these insights that you're coming with that definitely will be what they're looking to do. But Aurel and Offie getting that slide perfectly. Look at the speed. OTAC also coming in there from the back. Bren is in the back now. Oh, that's a mistake from Bren. And once again, OTAC is not, I mean, even if OTAC gets first, it's not enough. Bren and OTAC, both of them have 2 ace right now, and Offie and Aurel just needs to maintain anything but last.
It seems like BDS heard my plan before KC did, and they're currently in first and second, and they only need a single point. They just have to not get passed by Bren, as you said, and they are looking like they're gonna do that. Offie does not miss this identity. This time around, clutches it out for his team. A fast time too, I believe, in this round. 0.87, enough to take the win. BDS get an early lead in this game, winning their own map.
Absolutely great showcase here from Team BDS. And let's take a look at some of these replays. First up here, we have Offie that comes out of nowhere from the back, overtaking and then securing an ace for Team BDS.
Yeah, he was 2/10 behind, but got such low airtime that he passed not only Arel, but also Bren there, rocketing up into first. You can see just how much there's a gain in that identity if you get it perfect.
Yeah, then we have KC that fights back, gets a round win, and BDS still going up to 9 points. Definitely rough here for the first round for KC, but they can come back here because we're going to be playing Slowdown.
So Slowdown is arguably their strongest map. They play it basically every game they can. Sometimes it's banned against them. They have now stacked up a total of 33 rounds on it. And their average, or you could say median, is 57 low. That's right around where it's at, but their best records 56.6 and 56.7. Arel and Offie can match that, but I think KC might win this map with experience.
They just have more playtime on it, but we don't know how much playtime they have on it outside of the rounds here. Like, Team BDS might have practiced this tremendously, as right now Afi and Arel are looking to become first and second. Bren is the only person here sandwiched between the players of Team BDS, but now getting that nice left-handed slide a little bit better than the others, fighting his way back up to first place, but it's gonna be down to the identity.
Most matches, Bren has started with a 0.6 on the board here, a little bit slower, but still enough to potentially win. Offie risking, getting that airtime, getting overtaken. Arel setting up wide, but missing the slide.
Oh.
Bren is gonna defend this beautifully. That's a draw.
That is a draw. Great defense coming in from Bren, making sure that they don't concede any major loss. And, you know, getting a draw from the first round is not the worst that could happen if you have your teammate 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, and Otak crashed early, so that was a good save. They get the round reset and a new chance. Once they both avoid mistakes, they have really good potential here, but Arel and Offie already showed up round 1. 0.8 is what they were driving there before the identity, where they tried to risk to pass Bren. So the bar has been set, and it's already pretty high. This time, Otak will survive the start, although 2/10 behind, so not really finding the pace just yet. Bren was so close to the outside wall, but he will have the speed to show for that risk he took up in first place, ahead of Offie before the drift, and he got it so well last time. Again, look at how much KC gained here. They both now passed Arel and Offie before the identity.
They did indeed, and now KC are looking to see if they can get this ace. First and second place coming into it, but Otak flying way too far. And now all of a sudden it's up to Bren to make sure that Team BDS don't get the ace. Afi also flying out. Can Otak come back? Not quite, and it will be another draw.
A lot of risks being taken here, and Bren's just like, why are there cars flying? I'm just gonna do my 0.8 and get out of here. 2-2 now, but all the players have made many mistakes so far on Slowdown. See what round 3 brings to the table. Otak needs to get the start better if his team is going to win. He's had some mistakes, but it's time to clean up those inaccuracies. Gets a good start this time, follows Bren, and actually takes the lead in the round before the grass. Great line there from Otak. Now the dirt line. Going to set up wider, still get a lot of speed in the uphill. Otak's on a fire start, and this is a struggle for Offie and Arel to keep up with both players under 28 seconds there and extending through this drift that they do so well. Arel losing further ground, and Offie has a tough clutch round he has to get in the ending.
Yeah, he needs to clutch it out here, or hope that Otak and Bren, or one of them, just fly out once again there. Bren almost doing it, but making sure that he air brakes to keep the back wheels on the ground here. But it does look like that. Oh, will Arel almost overtake? No, it will be an ace for KARMINE Corp.
And a 56-56 for Bren too. There's a reason they picked this consistently. Here we get to see what KC do when they are the dominant team on the map. 5-2 so far, but Arel and Offie have shown signs of life, and all it takes is some mistakes like that Otak made from Bren as well. If that happens in a round, easy ace for BDS. They're not crashing as often, but that identity has posed problems getting the risky lines right.
Yeah, but it is looking great for KARMINE Corp as of right now. 5-2 is a great position to put yourself in, and they just need to capitalize on this lead and continue with the pace that they're putting out.
Good speed for Arel, matching, and Offie had a really sick start there, but missing the approach ever so slightly, and I think Otak crashed the sign. He is half a second behind at this point. Bren again forced to be the captain of the team, take the reins, and get a draw secured in a spot where he really cannot afford to crash. Early outside line, close to the checkpoint pillar. Still holding on to first place. Last turn, Offie more speed. Offie with a crazy line. Is he going to pass by Rel? No, he holds on. And it's at least just a regular loss.
Yeah, but any point for Team BDS right now is very nice. Getting closer and closer to KC's points here. And, you know, they can still come back. 2-point deficit is really not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's going to take 2 regular wins to get there or an ace to pass them. See what KC can deliver in round 5. If they don't win this map and they're going up against Offie and Arel and back and forth, it's going to be a tough match to follow. Really want to stay level with BDS and trade their opening maps as expected. 1-1. Offie, though, this is a crazy start. Watch out for what the Swiss monster Offie can deliver here. That is a really good start. He gets passed by Bren, but he has more speed. Gonna get back up to pace, and Bren is actually delivering an even faster round because at this point, speed's equalized and Bren's far in the lead. Does he get the uphill right? Goes for that wide approach. Wants all the platform he can get to extend speed into the last drift to the left, and he gets it. Otak almost securing an ace, but this is a fast round by all the players. 0.51 from Bren. 300ths from the world record and securing an important win for KC. They're right back up into that ace of a lead.
0.518 is a really good time. Only 3 other people in the tournament have gotten that as of right now. So pace has been shown, and they will continue to rack up some points right now. 8-5 in favor of KARMINE Corp, and they could close out the map right now.
A regular win would do it. Offie and Arel under a lot of pressure. We need to see the response. They have not gotten an ace. They've gotten some round wins. They've gotten some draws. What are they going to go for in round 6? Offie had a great start last time. There's not enough speed on the bobsleigh. Here again, great start. 0.8 there is a menacing track point. But here in the drift, KC doing it a little bit better. Catching back up. This is the best start we've seen out of BDS as a squad. And they have to use this opportunity for an ace, for something else. KC's gonna run away with it. We know Bren hits this ending good. Are they gonna get no airtime? They reduce it perfectly around the inside line, setting up wide. Bren trying his best to defend. Otak as well with the speed. They're gonna get passed by Arel, but it's a draw and it plays again into KC's favor.
It is so close for Arel to do the same thing that Grenadi did right there. He almost hit the side of the finish because they're going for this line where they get more exit speed, but they also have to drive further on the top of the hill because otherwise they'll get airtime, and that only leaves just this little tiny section where you have to full left turn and then hit the finish.
Important round for BDS. They have to ace and then some, but we're starting with an ace. That's the only way they keep this game going. And with Bren and Otak showing potential for 0.5, 0.6, you're basically saying, I'm gonna go in there and try to get a personal best in the next round. Otak face plants, leaving Bren now 1 versus 2, but as long as he doesn't lose to both BDS players, he's fine.
It is up to Bren. He just needs to not make any huge mistakes. He has about 0.3 to work with right now. Yeah. He's also extending his lead a little bit. So definitely a great time coming in from Bren. He just needs to execute the ending without any huge mistakes. Gets the first turn. Will he get the second downhill? He does. Drift set up for the last straight into the finish. Great.
0.6.
Great run from Bren, securing the draw and making sure that they get the map win.
I think if he wasn't in a clutch spot there, having to just secure it, he could have probably beat the 0.48. But it still stands. It survives another set.
I mean, yes, absolutely. And important for KC also to get the map victory on their map of choice.
Let's take a look at the highlights. KC, that one ace did them so well in this round here. Offie just a little wide, and he tries to get the speed, but doesn't get the gear, which is what you need for the speed to be there. And after that ace, with another win in this round and a really fast time from Bren, they were able to take that map relatively easily.
Yes, great showcase here from KARMINE Corp, but now we're going to be going into back and forth, and here we have seen Arel and Offie have some truly amazing paces, and I mean, I hope we're going to see it again, because that would just put KARMINE Corp in a pressured situation and give us even better of a match.
I mean, if you look at all the 16 players in the league right now, the player with the best median pace is Offie, first place, 58.17 median. Arel is in fourth, 58.6 median. And they have some of the most rounds played on the map. Offie driving 57.8 in week 1. With 6 more weeks of practice, you bet this guy is fast on the map. KC, if they win this, it's the toughest map in the map pack to beat them on.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right about that one. But we'll have to see. OTAC currently actually in the lead. Aurel has made a mistake. So this is looking advantageous. Oh, Bren with a very slow 360 right there. So still, though, Aurel is far enough behind for Bren to maintain third.
But it's honestly fine. Bren can just stay there in third. If OTAC gets this first place, that's still a great start to the map for them. But Offie in this identity is really fast, so you gotta watch out. He goes a bit wide there. Looks like he missed the turn, but no. Gonna get a more inside approach on the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And Offie is very close all of a sudden, but OTAC, great line there to hold on and deny anything from happening. KC start with a round win.
KC does start with the round win. That's great for them. But they also did so because they didn't rely, but they had to capitalize on Aurel making a pretty huge mistake early in the map. And I don't think that's something you can rely on happening again and again.
Yeah, I don't want to scare anyone, but Brennan OTAC's median pace on this is 1 second slower than that of Aurel and Offie. And it's really just because you take some risks, you make some mistakes, that reduces your median drastically. But even their best pace is also 2/10 behind what Offie and Aurel can do so. They have some work to do, and especially OTAC in this round. 1 versus 2. Aurel, clean start this time. You can see just where he ends up when he doesn't crash in the beginning. And it's right up there with Offie, like we've seen them all season long. This is where their dominance, their, you know, hierarchy is established. 5-0 so far, and they're looking for a 3-0 round.
OTAC
do anything.
Could attack right now. He is not too far away and is able to make things dangerous if he risks these last couple of turns here. Getting closer to Aurel right now. Might be able to overtake in the ending. Not quite enough. And it's gonna be an ace for Team BDS.
And look at Offie 57 here, opening up that pace that he's had for 5 weeks now. Consistently still there, still up there, carrying for his team. But Aurel, no slower really. 58.2 is good enough to beat most teams, and he beats KC here convincingly, and they go up into the lead.
Yeah, 4-2 is once again a great position to put yourself in, but Team BDS have not shown yet just the pace that they're capable of. They can drive faster than that, and they can do it consistently. But right now, KARMINE Corp, ooh, what did we see right there? Slide out from Aurel. Is this gonna be an ace coming back here for KARMINE Corp?
It's looking very likely. They're gonna know in the next split just how badly BDS have crashed. Usually when you check the splits and you don't see any opponents on the checkpoint splits, that's when you go like, wait. So now they should have realized, but we've seen teams unfortunately blunder situations like these, and we hope that KC can be immune to that curse today. Just gotta weave through the pillars without any crashes happening. Release if you have to, don't hesitate. And it's going to be good. It's even going to be a 57-85 from
That
Bren,
is a
so
great time.
Nothing to scoff at.
Even with the save. Even with the save lines.
And
so
that, despite what we talked about BDS being so fast in this, that actually beats both BDS players' personal best on the map.
Yes,
That's
it
the
actually
fastest
does.
time out of any of these 4 players.
It definitely does. Which also, it makes BDS less comfortable with, you know, if they thought they had this map on lock, but it also pushes them to drive faster. So we might even see even faster times now.
We might, and seeing that KC were willing to ban reps where Offie just never crashed, instead of this, means they definitely prepared for what they were going to face on back and forth. And now again, top 2 here out of the start, and Offie is in 4th. Are they going to dethrone BDS on back and forth? It seems the case as they're extending. Aurel half a second behind. OTAC and Bren, again, both on 57 pace, crossing this checkpoint.
Yeah,
they could double ace BDS on back and forth. We've never seen this.
They are very fast right now. OTAC with a slight mistake there, but he is not going to be far behind. Actually overtaking back up. Yeah. Overtaken back up to first, and Aurel is far enough behind to not really be able to contest Bren. This is going to be another ace for KARMINE Corp.
That is unheard of against BDS. We really got to see more consistency from Offie and Aurel for their strongest map, because they are going to have to go up against KC on freestyle, where they do well, no doubt. Offie and Aurel do well there, but Bren and OTAC are so good at the start. See if they can match that later, but definitely want to leave your own map with a win and not lose what you picked second going into this game.
Yeah, that will be rough for Team BDS. We've seen them on such a demanding, like, just devastation path all the way through the tournament. And right now, we are seeing some of the cracks in the armor. And KARMINE Corp are trying to
going too high.
here.
It's going to be tough spin. He's going to lose a lot of time. You have to land early there. He surrenders about 1 second of pace and leaves Offie in a very close 1 versus 2. Here, there's no saving the end anymore. They're both probably going to do some risky lines. OTAC getting very low speed. He's already out of that battle, but Bren still has a chance to beat Offie in the ending here. About a car length away before the last slalom, but OTAC somehow more speed than Bren. It looks like it's going to be a draw, but that puts KC at a 9-5 now with 1 point left to gain. Aurel and Offie are going to have to get 2 aces.
2 aces for Team BDS. It is not unheard of. BDS is, I mean, the favorite as of right now. Seed 1 in the entire tournament. Has not lost a single match as of yet. And have had back and forth as one of their main maps.
Bad start for Bren.
Right now, they are, once again, showing some cracks in the armor. Letting people know that they are not undefeatable. And I mean, we see here from KARMINE Corp, anything short of 2 aces for Team BDS will give KC the map win.
We need to see Aurel hit this jump right now, as it is desperation. They have to get this ace, and any mistake in the 360 or in the ending will cause KC to take the map. OTAC leading by a lot, a hefty margin to Aurel. He just needs to beat one of the players, not both, to get this one. And we've seen BDS drop some games, but we haven't seen them drop back and forth. This is one of their stronghold maps that they haven't lost to really any teams. OTAC trying to beat Offie, but really, if they just stay ahead of Aurel, then they will take it, and they do. Those 2 aces being so powerful, and BDS cannot stop them. KARMINE Corp are in the lead.
They are in, and it's even going into their own map pick now.
Going into freestyle, but we do know BDS are strong there. It's not going to be a free win. Replays coming through. Offie with that 0.94 showing up just in round 2 already. And it looked like BDS were going to do BDS things, but then they got swept really with 2 aces.
Yeah, no, the slide outs here are very unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunately, it happens. And, you know, when that happens, as the opponent team, you need to capitalize on these mistakes, and they did. So nothing wrong with that. Just showcases that once you see those cracks in the armor, once you see the weaknesses, you have to try to see if you can take advantage of them.
So just to get you guys up to speed about freestyle, the world record, of course, you can see it on screen, 107.08. Offie, the player with the 3rd fastest time in the league, 107.36. Aurel has a 0.44. OTAC has a 0.45 and Bren has a 0.55 as their best, and their medians are all in the 108 lows. So this is a close game. They also play these maps a lot. They favor playing freestyle a lot, both teams.
Yeah, what we want to see is we definitely want to see some 107s here.
Oh, that's bad for Aurel. Close to the corner, but he survives the reset.
Oh,
Offie hitting the wall. And now we know that KC have a great line here. They go for this sideways strategy. It looks like they both survived, though Bren going wider than I think he wanted to. It might mean Aurel passes 1, but
it is not quite over yet, though, because Offie is only 0.4 behind. Even with that mistake there, he can get back. We'll just have to see. Right now, KARMINE Corp, they're trying to see if they can ace here in the ending. They are only an identity away, and Aurel seems to be the only one contending for it. But we'll have to see Aurel making a huge mistake. And now KC might be able to get that first ace here on freestyle, their own map of choice. But OTAC makes a huge mistake. Will he get overtaken? Not quite. And that's an ace for KC.
KC starting strong in their own choice, an ace right there. That's their 34th round on this map, so they played it the most out of any teams out there. And they start strong once again. And if they win this map, they could realistically be the team to take down BDS and ruin the Cinderella story of going 7-0 in the first season of the duo format of TMWT.
I mean, that would be insane if Team BDS could do it, but it would be equally amazing if KARMINE Corp were the ones to beat it. They're also looking to get into the top 2 seeds of the tournament. Aurel, unfortunately, hitting that reset block. And I mean, that happens once in a while. It is so difficult to get the exact line that you need, and now it's Offie that needs to be able to get first place.
But KC's line is going to pay off here. They're going to get the no slide early in Gear 4, and look at how they're extending. That is a 0.3 of a second gap, just about, in favor of KC for an ace, not just a regular victory. So what can Offie do? He has to get the gear first of all, and he does. But now it's still a long way to go. Needs to go for a low flick, early cancel, and hope he gets it, but no. Gonna miss it, and Otak and Bren are going to continue their winning streak here with the aces. 2 on the previous map, 2 on this map, and great times. Otak 107.1.
Oh, 107.1 from Otak. Are you kidding me? Like, that's so much faster than his PB. That's like a 0.3 faster than his PB.
And Bren also improved his PB. That's a 0.34 or 0.33 right
Yeah,
there.
that's great. Great showcase here from the teams. Great showcase here from the teams. Love to see it. And we're talking less than 0.1 away from the world record as well. So, damn.
And, I mean, just thinking about it, right? If KC win this game now, that means that BDS are not even secured seed 1. They would still have to win their last game of the season to get seed 1 in the tournament.
Yes, they do indeed. So it's
this can shake up things drastically here.
It could definitely, but we'll have to see. Team BDS is not out of it quite yet, but KARMINE Corp have definitely showcased that they have pace on this map. And BDS, especially like Aurel right now, he's 0.3 behind. He needs to turn up the pace to be able to get back into this one.
Once you fall down 6-0, it is mathematically impossible to get back without an ace. You have to get an ace at some point. You can sustain a few draws, but you are just going closer and closer to the inevitable win for KC. If they ace here as well, it's looking very dark on freestyle for BDS. They have to get something in. The wall ride flicks in the freestyle. Identity, Uffy getting a good one, getting close to Otak, but that's a 10th away, and Bren's even further. Otak clipping though, and Bren getting across at the very least gives them some points, but it's gonna be a draw only.
I mean, you say only, but like that's still 7-1 in favor of KARMINE Corp.
I mean, they could have had 9-0 here.
Yeah, they could have had a triple A situation, but I think they're still very happy with the positions they've put themselves in. They can take home the map with another ace, or they could just play safe, get draws, get map losses or round losses, whatever they want. That would still give them the victory.
And the time there, 107.4 is still just so fast. Like, if that's, you know, somewhat of a safe pace, then they are looking golden to get this. Aurel and Uffy on the inside line, something we haven't talked about. But you can see that outside line gives the KC players more speed all the way up until this drift. But Aurel actually the fastest player out of the start with that inside line. So we're going for comfort here, both teams. And all will survive the no steering part. Aurel in the lead by about a 10th. And Uffy currently in 4th. And now the different lines here, the reason that BDS jump high is they want to gear up to gear 4 before the dirt turning starts. You can see Uffy getting it there. KC, they gear up late and get that no slide through the turn, and that's faster for now. But BDS have maybe something to say about it in the ending. They need to have something to say about it, or else this is over.
Yeah, KARMINE Corp are looking to ace it out right now and take home the map victory here already on the 4th round of freestyle, and they look to be doing it. 0.2 ahead of Aurel. Is Aurel... No, he cannot get back to it. Amazing performance from KARMINE Corp here. 107.1, 107.2. That's just
disgustingly fast. They're the best team in the league on this map right now. No doubt. No doubt. That's crazy.
Great times. And that is the 3rd map win for KARMINE Corp. Only one more to go to dethrone BDS.
And momentum really is the name of the game right now. That's how we saw Big climb back in the previous game to map 7, and how we see KC continue their winning streak right now. They started off this map with another ace and quickly made it 2.
Yeah, and Otak here with a 107.14 coming in a second, where, yeah, just amazing performances by both the players from KARMINE Corp.
Yeah, so now we're on the new map. We're on Slippy Slides. This is chosen by BDS, Uffy and Aurel, great consistency, low 111 times. But I think really if we're talking about momentum, they have a clean slate right now. And the first thing you want on that clean piece of paper is not an ace for the enemy team. You have to, I think, win this first round just to set the tone.
Absolutely, but Slippy Slides, we've been talking about this before, is a very difficult map to get through unscathed. And we might see some mistakes even before the identity. It is going to be interesting to see just how much KARMINE Corp has practiced this map. Aurel currently 0.2 behind the rest of the pack, and he needs to see if he can get back up, because right now Uffy is in a KARMINE Corp sandwich, and Bren and Otak are looking to see if they can get an ace even out of the go of this map.
Yeah, if they could, that would be so crushing for BDS. Right now, Bren and Alfie are driving incredible times up front. Arel and Otak struggling to keep up with that as it's close to the world record pace.
Oh,
we see
no.
a player slide out. That is Alfie not getting the grip on the reactor, but luckily Arel jumps up into second to at least reduce some of the damage being taken. Bren likely to win this round if he saves the bug slides, but we know that's not as easy as it is to say it. Looks like Bren has it under wraps. Where's Otak? Can he pass Arel and get an ace? Inside line would have to do the trick, but no, not gonna happen. And Bren, so close to the world record, only 200s away in the opening round. Not messing around here.
No, that's an incredibly incredibly good time, 111.1. Once again, that is very close to the record, and I think the league record here is a 111.101. So just amazing performance already here from the first round.
And BDS picked this, right? And they did not expect that from Bren, whose best pace was 111.57. He just beat his personal best by 4,500s on the map. Like, they have elevated their own level, I think, beyond what BDS might have been ready for, but now they have to answer to it. Now that they've seen it, Alfie missing the slide, Bren crashing, that means it's gonna be about a draw situation here with Otak far in front.
Actually, it's not quite a draw situation quite yet, because the bottom 3 positions are still only 0.1 away from each other. Bren, unfortunately, slowing down a little bit, but he's still not quite out of yet. We have seen different approaches here to this bug slide, and he might be able to get back up. Afi going a little bit wider, Bren going a little bit tighter, and once again, it equals out quite a bit, but it is going to be up to the identity. Otak has made a mistake. Afi is now in the lead. Bren overtaking for the lead. Who's going to be able to take it home right now? It is going to be up to the final 2 bug slides. Bren going tighter here in the ending.
Yes,
it might be. No, it's going to be an ace for Team BDS.
BDS with the better inside bug slide approach. Bren went too wide in that last one. You don't need all the speed for the next one as there's just the finish lines across. BDS come back strong on their own choice.
It was a round where everybody made a mistake. It was a 102.5 for the winning time there. But that just goes to show that this map is definitely not easy to get through unscathed.
No, there's nothing to take for granted to drive Slippy. It's the second longest map in the map pack, and if agility dash is tricky, and so is this. Going to the dirt uphill now. This is where we saw 2 mistakes happen. First, that corner clip, and then the downhill drift being missed. But all 4 players have made it. We have a great round on our hands. Going into the water turn, Arel committing early, but getting the perfect trajectory through that. Now to the freewheeling, going high, almost sliding out, having to surrender a lot of speed in the dirt approach, but still staying top 2 with his teammate. Maybe they can start to build momentum now and get 2 aces back to back. They have the positions to do so before the identity, but will they hit the bug slides as good as last time? Can Bren and Otak try to deny? Looks like only Otak has something to say here before the 3 slides start.
It is an inside line for Otak. Afi setting up a lot wider. It is going to be between Arel and Otak. Actually, Afi overtakes Otak and might be able to get another ace here for Team BDS, putting them up to 7-2.
A cleaner round from them, and they get it once again in the ending. Their bug slides are more refined right now. Bren had that 111-12 round, close to the world record. But if you crash 2 times after, then it's not gonna be a strong value. 7-2 for BDS, who, as you said, are not done in this game yet, and they're fighting back on their own map still. They have 3 points to go, but they also have the track point on lock. If they ace now, that's over.
It is over, at least for this map, but KC still have something they want to say about it, as Bren is in the lead and Otak is not too far behind, but it's going to be very, very difficult. They cannot surrender too many points away to Team BDS. KARMINE Corp, they want to close out the game as fast as possible. They are on map point, as you could call it. They only need 1 more map to get the victory and then deny Team BDS from a 7-0 sweep here in the entirety of the tournament. Arel getting such an inside line here.
If he missed it again, I think. No, he's coming back through the frame. That is the camera playing some tricks on us, but what's coming back in the frame as well is Otak up into the top 2. KC are looking for an ace. Now on an inside for Otak. Bren going wide. Otak missing the slide, falling out, but Bren can secure a draw at least. Cannot afford to miss this, or it is over. Afi trying with an inside approach. Arel even sniping him away, but at least Bren's gonna get second. But that means they're 1 point away from taking this map, BDS.
This is looking rough. We're talking 2 aces and then some to be able to get back into this.
Yeah, they have a long way to go now, and if they don't get through this, they will have to fight back on map number 6, their own choice. I, again, have forgotten what they actually went for. Did we see a mistake just then? No, it was the name tag again. Playing tricks on us. We're all on edge here. Really hoping to see all 4 cars stay in the fight until the end. Up and downhill. OTAC with a bit of airtime. Afi going for a great line there, extending his lead.
Afi has showcased some incredible pace on this map and absolutely is consistent to a fault here, but Bren and OTAC are right behind. We've seen some very good matches here where people, all the players within 0.1, 0.2 of each other all the way through the map up until the identity, and here we have the first box slide before the identity going super inside. OTAC, yeah, had to adjust his line, unfortunately not being able to adjust quite enough.
This might be the map because they can't afford any point loss at this point. So as long as BDS remain ahead of OTAC, don't even need to catch up the Bren. Arel, one more bogey slide, and they will secure it. Even with an ace, it looks like, for good measure. BDS get map 5, and we go 3-2 so far.
Dominant showing by Team BDS, and they definitely needed that momentum going into the next map, because KARMINE Corp is still on map point. They still only need one more map, and I do think that this next map is their map choice.
It is. It looks so scary here for BDS when Brent starts us off with a 111.12, almost beating the world record on the track from Pack. But that was all really. They had the brightest moment was the first one, and then BDS started to shine with consistency. Good rounds. They got ace after ace after ace.
Yeah, they got ace after ace, ending it with a 7-2 after their couple of aces here, making sure that KARMINE Corp did not feel safe at all.
And the choice from KC is Hardcore. That's map 6 of this best of 7.
And we could end it here. This is KARMINE Corp's map choice, and they only need one more map to close it out. So we'll have to see just how much practice they've put in here to make this their map choice.
Remembering last week or the week before, Bren going for a lot of flips on this, feeling comfortable with that, but also being able to match, I think it was Into the Breach's pace in the early parts of the map, and we saw them earlier today. They were amazing. So KC, this is a strong choice for them again, but can BDS match it? Can they keep up? Here in the start, it does not look like it, as they are 3 tenths behind Bren and OTAC before the bobsleigh, and maybe they can extend the lead here. Arel coming back strong though.
Oh, that looks dangerous for OTAC.
Never mind. BDS might ace.
They might ace. I saw those crooked entrances into the bobsleigh, and that made them slow down quite a lot. And now Team BDS, they are looking all the way to the finish all alone. Will they be able to get this ace?
Respawn.
Oh, respawn, but Afi, OTAC overtaken, but he's slowing down as well. That's another respawn, and it will be an ace for Team BDS due to some incredibly unfortunate, also very, very time-costly mistakes from KARMINE Corp.
Not sure if you saw there, but Bren had a slowdown on the first landing, something we rarely ever see. And very unfortunate there, as he didn't have the speed. Maybe could have had a say after Afi respawn, but it's hard to say. BDS, though, acing on KC's map. That puts them now, talking about momentum, far ahead.
That's the thing, but once again, the reason they aced is due to some incredible time-costing mistakes from KARMINE Corp, and you cannot rely on that happening every single round. And KC, they know we just have to bounce back. We can't make these mistakes define the map for us right now. We just have to get back into pace. We have to get back into the mood, and I think they're going to showcase that right now.
The bobsleigh was the killer for them. They were 3 and 4 tenths ahead at that point. Now a bad uphill from Bren. That's going to sting a little bit. But if he survives the bobsleigh, he has great chances with his team in this round. Though, having said that, Afi and Arel, if they get this good, Bren leaving really a few pixels there as he gets through. They might have to go for some shenanigans here, some flips. Afi making it at least a little bit more bearable to round, but it's still Arel in the lead, just barely. And onto the first jumps now, the plank jump. Drop down, and now the wobble. Who's going to get it the best? Bren looks like he has it on lock. Great speed there. That's the wobble done perfectly. Is it going to be an ace? Is OTAC going to get the speed? It's a normal victory, but a very important one for KC. They could not lose anything more that round.
No, 4-2, not, once again, now it doesn't look as bad. Being 2 points behind is not the worst, but KC really wants to come back. More victories. They need more victories or an ace to feel secure.
So the reason that wobble, by the way, saves so much is because that booster is a booster gate. And the booster has such a stronger effect if you're on the ground when you pass through it than if you're in the air. It's still going to boost you, but not nearly as much. So Brand reduced airtime, got a great early landing, and more speed.
And more speed is good. You can write that down right now. But for now, we see OTAC with a slight mistake. Actually, 2 mistakes in a row. And now it's going to be Bren who's tasked with maintaining the lead because they really cannot concede any more points to Team BDS. They are already 2 points ahead. Bren needs to get this identity down.
Yeah, he has to. And what he's going to do is up to him. But the flip is still on the table. If he gets a good wobble, he might just fancy it. Although ahead of Aurel. Aurel could feel the same. He could think, you know what? I can get this ace right now. Lock it in. Go for the flip. Bren too far to go for the flip. Has to go for the normal jump. And that will just be them conceding a regular loss. BDS still 3 points ahead.
And 102.5 is definitely not a bad time. They are driving consistently. As you guys can see on screen, the record for freestyle, or sorry, parkour is, let me find it, 101.92. Driven today, by the way, by Alcon.
Drove a double world record on the map. Regularly, we see like 102.2 being an amazing pace, but Alcon just one echelon above that again. 6-3 for BDS, who could take us to map 7. That's looking likely. KC might just have to ace to get back into this one. As
well, I don't think KC
right now is very tough.
I don't think KC's out at all just yet. They have shown they are able to put themselves in a position where they can definitely ace back. It's just up to them to wait for any sort of weakness being shown by Team BDS. Maybe a mistake, maybe 2, and then they need to capitalize on it.
They would. We go into the bobsleigh. OTAC ahead, but he has a tough line to recover from. Gets that right, though, but Aurel with more speed in first. Still advantage for BDS. Up the outside dirt line, all players getting it right. A lot of speed for Afi as well, coming back through, but OTAC remaining ahead of the 2 blue players. Can they get this wobble strategy right? Landing early, they're not going for it. OTAC gets it. Bren, I'm gonna see anything. He gets a good wobble. My pass 1, my pass 2. That's a win for KC at the very least.
Important win, an important snipe there from Bren. He almost was able, it did look like he wanted to try to see if he can get the ace there, but he lands so late that the others had time to accelerate before he lands. But it was definitely a great identity coming in from KC, but now BDS have put them in a position where they can end the map by getting an ace.
They could, but KC are within striking distance. If they keep winning rounds, they're gonna catch up to BDS just before they hit 10. If no aces are had, and of course, if KC ace now, they're up ahead, but we'll see what the identity brings. 1 respawn from 1 player in a bad spot. That's potentially game-ending here, as KC are 3 maps up right now. Let's see what Afi can do. He's following OTAC and Bren closely into the bobsleigh. Sets up early, does not want to risk anything there. Wants to see the ending of the map before crashing. Going up the hill, OTAC releasing, and a big mistake from Bren. Bren having to respawn entirely. OTAC left alone, and he cannot get past by Aurel. That would be the map, but he has to try to pass Afi, or else they're in big trouble regardless. Not going to go for any flip, though. Just going to try to deny the ace from happening, and he will do so. They're still in it, but they have to ace now.
9 points here for Team BDS, 6 points for KARMINE Corp. We're gonna have to see an ace and then a map win or something for KARMINE Corp. Otherwise, they will concede their own map pick to Team BDS, and we're gonna go to map 7.
And like, the pace BDS are driving is not insane yet. 102.6, they had 102.5 themselves, KC. They can get there, but having both players survive such a clean round in such pressure, you know, knowing you're that close to taking down the undefeated team, it's very unlikely. We'll see if they can hold their nerves at bay and get good lines through these sections. The ice going their way, but the uphill, do they have the grip? Looks like Aurel will catch up a little bit, and Afi also getting past 1 player. That makes an ace, all the less likely, and a high jump as well from Brad, leaving him in 4th. Now, yeah, I think he's gonna think about it. I think he's gonna look at that flip and think, you know what? If it's what it takes, I'm gonna try it.
The barrel roll is definitely in contention for Bren, but Afi also makes a mistake. And now Bren actually up on second place. He will see this immediately after entering the next checkpoint. And maybe that'll be called out in the comms. Aurel is going to try to see if he can take back. He just needs 1 point. Just needs to overtake one person. Bren makes a mistake. Aurel comes up to second place. And that's going to be the map for Team BDS.
BDS, they've looked down and out in so many games. They were looking beat in the match against G1. They were looking beat in the match against Solary at a certain point. Here, they fight back to map 7. Once again, their 3rd series to go the distance. Can they remain undefeated?
It is going to be down to map 7, the random map pick that neither of the teams they went for.
But first, the replays, the bobsleigh mistake early on. Looking back now, so costly from KC. In this first round, they set it up wrong, got too high up on the wall, and the speed loss was what led them to be aced.
That's rough. And then we have KC that win the round after a very close ending, but still not enough to win the map.
And if you wanted random, the game has given us random. We are looking forward to the next map. And the decider map in this all-so intense series, definitely worthy of the match of the week status. Flip of Faith is coming up.
And once again, Flip of Faith, what we're going to see the players do here is they're going to try to go for as direct low airtime jumps on these barrel rolls. There's going to be 1 in the start and 2 in the ending. And they're going to be some of the most deciding factors of who and which team is going to take home the victory. The last map of the week. Let's hear it. Who are you voting for, chat?
If you are a BDS fan, I have good and bad news. The good news is that Aurel has the 2nd best median pace on this. And the bad news is that Afi has the 2nd, or actually the worst median pace on this. But in this round, Afi is the one currently holding it for his team as Aurel makes a mistake on the flip. Otek and Bren a bit middle of the pack in terms of their consistency on it, but really just throw the stats out the window. Let's see what these rounds have to offer in and of themselves. A mistake from Afi as well leaves Otek and Bren in top 2 before the ending, but we know these flips are tricky. How high or how low do you dare to go? Bren going for a low jump, catching a bit up to Otak, and they both remain ahead of Afi. About 1 second now. Don't want to go too low here, don't want to risk anything. Ooh. Bren, perfect ending, but not leaving a lot of room for safety. An ace for KC in the first round.
That's a great ending there from Bren, and you love to see the ace for KC at the moment because they lost the map of their choice here before, and starting off map 7 with an ace puts a lot of pressure on Team BDS.
It does. This is the decider. This is the map that could break the streak, could ruin Seed 1, could take down the undefeated team. Is it going to be Otak and Bren to do it? A team I don't think a lot of people had winning this game. They've gotten within, you know, 7 points of taking down the team now. But they still have to get them. And Aurel and Afi, Aurel's not going to let that mistake happen again this round. It's both
and
players resetting. Looks like 3 players have reset. Afi respawning again. This is this round was almost disaster for KC, but somehow, wait, what is? They are so far behind Jnic. Otak has respawned 4 times.
Okay, so it's gonna be up to Bren to see if he can equalize this and try to see if the draw will happen. But Aurel is quite far ahead, 0.8. So if Aurel can get the identity without any huge mistakes, they should be able to secure the round win for Team BDS. But it will be up to these final jumps here. Bren also going for a low jump, definitely.
Bren
such a nice.
He's 13 seconds gap. He should just full send. If he respawns, it's all good, and it might pay off. Ooh, gets close. That was 0.8 and 0.3 at the finish, so he gained half a second. And now Afi. Is Afi gonna survive this? Just going for high jumps, and it's the first time we see the finish timer maybe being a problem. 6 seconds left across the line. 3, 2, gets there with 2 seconds to spare and takes a regular victory. What chaos, though. They are clearly nervous here.
Absolutely. Like, I don't know, man. This is getting more and more interesting. Every single round matters so much. 4-2 in favor of KARMINE Corp right now. They might be the first team to dethrone BDS from the clean sweep during the tournament.
You have to see them get this first barrel roll right. Afi setting it up. Standard line going pretty high. Otak clipping the corner a little bit, but Bren has his back, or rather his front. 0.7 behind. for Otak now, but Brand clearly in the lead and can at least, I think, hold this down on his own.
Yeah, Bren with a demanding lead, like 0.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the opponents. So he has some time to work with. Not really too worried, but he needs to get the identity down without any huge mistakes.
And Otak's position is very annoying for BDS, because if they risk and they fail, he will catch up to them. They can't really afford to do so. Brando making a mistake, and an ace is possible now for BDS. Are they going to recognize it? Offie going very low, but they both landed clean, and that is an ace for BDS, who takes back the lead of this map now by 1 point. Crazy situation there.
All of a sudden, it's getting very interesting who's going to take this home, because this is getting closer and closer to a tie game. Last round, remember last match we had an 11-12. Oh, sorry, a 10-11 in map 7. And now we're in map 7 again with a 5-4 score.
5-4 for BDS. With round 4 underway, they're halfway to 10, and somehow it seems they always clutch up and find these important wins. Rounds that matter. They have done this against other top teams to stay undefeated. KC putting them under a lot of pressure. The next flip up, nothing taken for granted. Bren going high with a slow landing, it looks like, but this is the closest round we've had so far. All 4 players now within a tenth or two of a second. But Aurel, the most consistent, the highest, best medium pace, leading the charge out of the opening.
Yes, here we have Team BDS. They're not going to give up at all. They're actually quite in a great position, but all players within 1/10 of each other. Such a close race. Avi getting a little bit of airtime, but that's not a problem here. Otak getting a better line. Avi going outside of the pillars, making that work as well. Otak with a low line. Such a nice placement, and that is overtaking one. Overtaking the other. Is it going to be the reverse ace? KARMINE Corp answering with an ace right back.
They're not gonna let BDS take this lead. 7-5 now for KC, and a match point once again. If they ace, it's over. They've done it. But BDS, so valiant here, always fighting back, and they're not gonna let this face them. They're gonna go right back into that center pace and play it out until the bitter end. Let's see what they can do on the next barrel roll.
Will KARMINE Corp go the distance? Will they take home this victory against BDS?
Low.
That is a low jump from Afi, but he maintains such a great amount of momentum. The speed he had there, he will be able to accumulate onto that for a pretty long section of the map, and that is why he's now ahead of the rest of the field by 0.2, almost 0.3 seconds, but it's still a close race.
Still close, and we know this transition right here up to the grass has been deadly in some rounds. They want to go as low as possible, but not clip it. All 4 players surviving it. Now you're going to see Offie go wide. He goes outside that pillar, gives him more comfort. A better setup perhaps for this flip, but this will be decisive. Offie going very high there, going so high, disappearing from field of view, and Casey are looking for the ace. The last flip up, are they going to get it?
Otak with a mistake!
But it makes a small mistake in the landing.
He's going to be so close, he's going to get it home!
Offie denies it by 6,000.
Shots! I mean, that was down to who drove off the pillar the first.
2 cars becoming 1, and it's 6,000ths of a second.
Oh my god. That, I mean, unbelievable. But now, even with that, they've put Team BDS in a position where you have to ace, and then you have to get a map victory. The pressure on Team BDS to maintain the win streak is on.
And KC under so much pressure as well. They know they just need 1 point, but they've been so close so many times, and now they cannot afford to miss these flips. Otak going pretty low, getting a good jump. All 4 players are there out of the start of the round. That's what we want to see. But where will this be decided? Will it be the transition in the middle? Will it come down to the flips in Jnic to see which team handles the pressure the best? Bren and Otak, though, have gotten the closest any team's gotten to taking down BDS.
Any mistake here from Team BDS will result in a loss, because anything short of getting the bottom 2 positions will give KARMINE Corp the victory here. Aurel needs to overtake both players from KARMINE Corp. He is getting close to them. They're all driving shoulder to shoulder. It's gonna be down to these final barrel rolls. Everybody's getting it. Bren and Otak also getting them clean. Aurel needs to overtake here in the final jump. He doesn't get it, and it's gonna be KARMINE Corp dethroning Team BDS and taking home the match victory.
They've done it. They took down BDS, the undefeated team, and the Cinderella story doesn't end here, but it's not going to be the clean league sweep. KC take a very important win against BDS because that also puts them in contention for the top spots. Amazing match though. This was a great treat to watch.
This was an amazing match to watch, and also a great upset having Team BDS lose to KARMINE Corp. I think a lot of people voted for Team BDS here to win, but such a great showing from KC.
I'm so glad we got such great games today that went the distance, starting with some highlights here. That first round where KC just got an ace, Bren. Amazing low flip, which also came in clutch later.
Yeah, and we have BDS that take the lead with an ace after Otac's early mistake here, and Brent's identity coming back here in the game, but not quite enough to win.
Yeah, that was the ace that I thought would turn the tide, but KC just answers right back. These flips, they had them on lock. Again here, looks like a spot that shouldn't be an ace, but then great ending from them and a miss from Uffy leads them to victory. Guys, what an amazing set of matches in today's Trackmania World Tour. I want to thank you for joining us. You know, Trackmania Esports, it's an ever-developing thing, but what a beauty it is to watch when it's played at this high of a level.
Oh, it was amazing. Honestly, today's matches could not have been better. We had 2 matches go down to map 7 as well. Like, just an amazing show. We've seen world records on world records. It's been crazy.
It's been great. There's 1 week left of matches before the playoffs happening in late March, so stick around for that. It's going to be next Sunday, 1 week from now. Mark the date if you want to watch more. But for tonight, we are done. So thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Jnic if you want to watch Trackmania in the mornings. He is a morning Trackmania streamer.
Yes, shout out for the mods, thank you very much. But yes, you can follow me if you want to. Also, many thanks to the production team for the replays, for making sure that all the tech is set up, and for the pre-production of the show. Everybody's doing an amazing job.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to be part of. And I think with that, we're just going to leave that amazing feeling of that match last a bit in people's mind. We're not going to dissolve it with anything, so...
but are you gonna continue today?
I will not continue streaming, guys. I know you've been missing the streams; they're gonna come back soon. But I am burnt. That took all my energy. So we're gonna call it a night. Probably go down, celebrate. But woo! Thank you guys for watching, and have a good night. We'll see you next Sunday with more casts.
Yes, people, hey,
people, hey.